Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Awesome Sunday Show. Pat here.
This is Connor speaking.
This episode's going up a little late in the day because of some issues during the week, but it's going to get up on Sunday, so fuck Dan Jordan. I don't want to hear an Awesome Monday joke.
Yeah,
That's really
or
bad.
awesome late show joke or whatever he says. We've only been late twice.
I know, and that's both times because I was on vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
So fuck you, Dan, you brown motherfucker. Go deal cocaine. Anyway, back to The Flash again. We're going to do a little recap, and then the second half, we're going to go over some theories that we might have. And this is episode 5, The Darkness and the Light. So you want to get started?
Yeah, so Darkness and the Light, it's kind of like a double meaning. There is a villain in the show. There is a villain in the episode called Dr. Light.
Mm-hmm.
But the episode literally actually picks off right where the last one ended.
Yep.
Harrison Wells is in Star Labs.
Earth 2 Harrison.
Earth 2 Harrison Wells. And so is Jay Garrick in there with him as well. And Harrison Wells believes, he's like talking with them, telling them about Dr. Zoom, saying that he's the creation for Zoom and Jay Garrick, and or the Flash Earth 2, Earth 2 Flash. And but you kind of get a little hint towards something when Jay Garrick walks in the room. They don't like each other very much. Well, actually, you actually find that out in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're actually on Earth 2.
Yeah.
You got a hint that they don't really like each other. And you find out they really don't like each other in Earth 1 when they're at Star Labs.
Yeah, basically, Earth 2 Harrison Wells is a massive dick.
Yeah.
Like even Earth 1 Harrison Wells, aka Airbud Wells.
Airborthon.
No, I know, but I was making a joke. Was a psychopath who wanted to kill the Flash, yet he was less of a dick. Surprisingly.
Yeah, it was like easier to be around him. Like this guy, it's weird. He's not a bad guy. He's kind of a good guy. He's just an ass.
Right. He's just a dickhead to everybody.
Yeah.
Especially Jay, which is he was more so a dick to Cisco out of anybody in the episode, and I thought it was really funny when he called him Crisco.
Yeah.
And then somebody on
I just thought of Big Mama's house when he said that.
it's not bad.
Because she's like, get the Crisco.
Yeah.
She's giving birth.
Yeah, somebody on Reddit put the actors who play Cisco's face all over a giant Crisco can, just made it their new logo. But yeah, he's a really bad dick, and they show him and Jay having a negative interaction on Earth 2, and then when Jay shows up at Star Labs, they're not exactly buddy-buddy.
At all.
No. It's kind of like... What the hell was it? Never mind. I was going to make a Rwanda joke, but I can't remember the Hutus and the Tutsis.
Yeah.
Minus the mass killing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. As fucked up as that sounds. But yeah, he's an asshole to Team Flash. And I thought it was really funny that as soon as Joe walked in, he just like whipped out his gun and fired like five or six shots.
Yeah.
Right,
like didn't even like
natural instinct.
Yeah, it's kind of weird too. Like I'm not to bring up anything like crazy, but like you see like all on the news, like all the cop shootings and stuff like that. Like they just shoot first, and like it's just like I was like, wow, like they really went for it. Like the cops just shooting them. Like
oh yeah, he just walked in, saw him, and just unloaded on him, which I can't really fault him for because he's not.
So he didn't know about Earth 2 at all.
Yeah, he's literally has like no knowledge of Earth 2 except for that it exists. So he didn't know that there's doppelgangers or like the same people.
He just thought it was
a different
Harrison
version.
Wells.
Yeah, he immediately thought it was Airborthon back as Harrison Wells, which I can't blame him for.
Yeah.
But it was just really funny, and at least Barry, saved the day. As much as Barry isn't a fan of him either. But, yeah, Wells basically says, he did say that he created Zoom. Not like he created him in a lab. It's just the particle accelerator exploded on Earth 2 as well, releasing the dark matter.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, somebody became Zoom. And that's how Jay Garrick got his powers and all the other metahumans that Zoom is sending over to Earth 2, including Dr. Light in this episode, who can basically shoot the energy of stars out of her hands.
Like solar flares almost.
Yeah, deadly solar flares.
Like Tien and Krillin and Goku in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
It's that of her hands.
Yeah, basically.
I never understood really where they shoot it out from in Dragon Ball Z though. It's kind of just like there.
Yeah, it's kind of their key just shows up and blows shit up. Yeah, and so Dr. Light, unlike the other metahumans from Earth 2, doesn't want to kill the Flash. She wants nothing to do with him. She wants to steal a bunch of money and then hide out on Earth 1 just to get away from Zoom. And we're joined here by Mr. Chris Oleski. Just walked in.
He looks beautiful as ever. Chris, why don't you say hello in the microphone?
Hello, everybody. Hey, Pat, you look good with that stash.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So she's basically just trying to escape. And we find out, much to Barry's surprise as well, that Dr. Light of Earth 2 is Linda Park, who is Barry's ex-girlfriend from Earth 1. So he's a little mind blown on that and pretty much fucked him up a little bit. Wasn't able to get him to concentrate. So then going back to Star Labs after that, Wells is just basically like, you got to kill her. Just do it. No questions asked, just kill her. And Jay's like, no, she can be reasoned with. She's not a killer. Which is the approach that Barry takes, but it ends up backfiring, leading to Earth 2, Linda Park, going after to kill her Earth 1 version.
Mm-hmm.
And Iris pulls a Joe and just goes for the headshot right away. Just whips out the gun that Joe gave her and shoots her right in the head.
Like father, like daughter.
Yeah. Luckily, Dr. Light had that helmet on, but it was just really funny. You know, they both got the trigger instinct. And then, Linda Park's mind is blown as well. Understandably.
Yeah, 'cause she has nothing. She doesn't know anything.
She does,
like,
the only thing she knows about, anything related to Earth 2 is that a giant black hole opened up above the city. And I would be scared shitless if I saw a doppelganger version of me.
I think it'd be pretty cool, actually.
It would be.
I mean, I would have some questions, but I would have questions like, where are you? Who would you come from? Yeah. But my first questions would be like to see like if they were like just like me.
Well, if they're coming in shooting giant solar energy beams out of their hands, it'd be a little different story.
I don't.
Aiming at you, trying to kill you.
Well, if they were trying to kill me, I guess
like she was. But after that, I'd be like,
I mean, I wish.
What am I like over there?
Yeah, no. If I'm just saying, if they were like buddy, like if it was like a normal like me, I don't know if I would be freaked out as much as most people.
True. If they just ran into each other at a bar, I'm sure it would have been a different.
I would think it was a long lost twin, actually. Like that.
Just call it mom and dad.
Or what was that one movie with Lindsay Lohan? The Parent Trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would be in The Parent Trap.
Just call it, hey, mom and dad. So, something you want to tell me?
Yeah, like. Or like that episode of The Simpsons where Bart has the evil twin, but Bart is the evil twin.
Yeah.
Hugo, yeah.
Just eats fish heads in the attic.
And he sews rats and pigeons together.
Surprisingly, though, as much as that would freak me out, I'm kind of surprised that none of the members of Team Flash asked Jay or Wells if he knows their doppelgangers over there and what they're like. If somebody, at least they have the opportunity to talk to them, I would ask them that.
Maybe. I also too we would, but I think it's almost like they almost don't want to know. I think didn't they ask that though? I think didn't Barry ask that when he first met Jay?
I'm not sure.
I think he
they
did.
Just asked him about him being the Flash and what they call him over there. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but also Jay probably doesn't know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I would at least ask, so do I exist over there?
Right.
But going to, which we'll touch on in a future theory, Jay may not want to say for certain characters. But yeah, so basically that's about the most of what happens in this episode, other than Barry ends up finally going on a date with Patty Spivot.
Which is funny because he was blinded by Dr. Light.
Yeah,
So
and
then
Cisco
he
was
wears
his eyes.
he wears sunglasses, and like Cisco is his eyes. Again, this episode reminded me of just a lot of different things in
Yeah.
general. Remember what was that one movie with Eddie Murphy and Owen Wilson? Where they're like the spies, and they both wear the contacts.
I Spy.
I think it is I Spy. It kind of reminded me of that scene,
Mm-hmm.
except the other scene was like I think like Owen Wilson or Eddie Murphy or Owen Wilson was about to like get with some girl.
Yeah.
He like takes the contact out. Eddie Murphy's like freaking out, like no, keep it on, keep it on.
Cisco was actually really funny in that scene.
Yeah.
When it was going on. And then Patty being a brilliant detective. It's like, oh,
It didn't take a brilliant detective. I mean, if I didn't know Barry was blind, I would have been.
I was
kind
of being a little sarcastic.
Oh,
But yeah, being the brilliant detective she is, like, Barry, I could tell you can't see. But it worked out for him because she guided him back to his car and then just straight up went for it and hooked
Yeah.
up, which, good for Barry. It's one way to get over Iris, I guess.
yeah.
The cute blonde chick, doesn't hurt.
No, it never does.
And then, other than that, the other big reveal basically is that Zoom, while back on Earth 2, has captured Dr. Wells' daughter and is holding her hostage and threatening her and her dad. Which I didn't know this at the time, but I found out today on Reddit. That actress was supposed to be cast as Jessie Quick. So I wonder if they will reveal her to be Jessie Quick at some point.
Okay, I don't think so. You think she was supposed to be cast as?
She originally was cast as that character. Could have been a rumor, but
Yeah.
it was like a pretty heavy rumor. So I'm not.
I
too
don't
sure.
know. I mean, no, well, she probably is then.
She can be because Jessie Quick has to come from somewhere. I could see her more likely coming from Earth 2 than Earth 1.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I can't guess for sure. I mean, I'm not saying you are.
Yeah.
Just because it's like just super early into. I mean, we're only 6 episodes in a season. That's like what, 24 episodes?
Yeah, 23, 24. Plus, so she's confirmed for the show, whether it's that actress or not.
Yeah.
And then so is Wally West. But we just don't know yet if they're going to appear with their powers or not.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm looking forward to either way. Oh, I just remembered another big thing that happens in this episode. We first encounter Hawkgirl. The actress Sierra Renee. I forget what Hawkgirl's real name is. But
Shire Hall.
yeah, I don't know if that is what that's the spirit's name, but I don't think right now that's this person's name because
Yeah.
Hawkgirl doesn't remember her previous life.
Yeah.
While Hawkman always remembers his previous life, the spirit of Hawkgirl never does. So
Right.
she probably doesn't realize she's
Hawkgirl.
that right now. And Cisco is real awkward hitting on her, but at the end of the episode it works out, gets her number, which I'm kind of surprised.
That was a hard scene to watch.
Yeah.
I was like, and I was watching it on demand because like I missed it Tuesday night, so I watched it the next day. I like tried fast forwarding that scene, and I couldn't do it because scumbag CW.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I really actually wanted to fast forward that scene really bad. How awkward it was.
It was really, really awkward, and I'm kind of surprised that, given Cisco's ability to perceive, or not really perceive, but to get in and see like huge things, given his powers, like how he saw Dr. Light at the bank and how he saw her at the train station, that when he shook her hand that he didn't see whether it's going to happen in the future or in her background, her past, that she's Hawkgirl. But either way, it's the first time we see her on screen. It's not going to be the last time. I'm sure she's going to be in the next couple episodes before, and the mid-season finale, most likely before Legends of Tomorrow comes on.
Yeah.
which they showed her and Hawkman's costumes that they actually look pretty good. I don't know if you saw them, but you could just Google them. So that's kind of basically what happened in that episode. Like, there were some important things, not too much. Team Flash finally learns that Cisco has powers that he was hiding from him because, yeah, and they gave him the name.
Yeah.
I was like really excited they gave it to him on the first try. I wonder if he's gonna have breakdancing skills. I would like to see that. Yeah, because Harrison Wells has that watch or whatever to pick up metahumans.
Yeah, it's
And-
it's like a detector.
Yeah, and he shows and proves that Cisco's a metahuman. But when he put it in front of Caitlin, I guess she's not going to be Killer Frost. Might be Earth 2 Caitlin, or she won't become a metahuman just yet.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what,
some accident's going to happen.
because that image is out. I don't know if it was a leaked image or they actually put the image out.
Well, in the season finale, when Barry's running through the portal to get back in time to
Yeah.
his mother's murder, he sees in the Speed Force Killer Frost. But Thawne, while he was doing that, was saying, it's everything that happened currently and will happen, could happen in different timeline dimensions and stuff. So that's when he saw her. But it's completely possible that, well, we know at some point we're going to see Killer Frost, like the producers have said it, whether this season, next season, or Earth 2, whatever, which would be really cool. Obviously, something has to happen for that to occur, which I think in terms of Cisco right now, he has one aspect of his power, how he's able to see those things.
yeah,
But we know that the character Vibe in the comics can basically manipulate the molecules of not only his body, but bodies around him.
yeah,
Like, he can stop the Flash. He can mess with his molecules so he doesn't have... He can, like, take away his speed for a
Yeah.
short amount of time, which I have a theory about, but we'll get into theories a little bit later
yeah.
for what my theory is.
I think I get it. I think I know exactly what you're about to say.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna see. I'll tell you if I'm wrong or not.
All right.
I'm guessing.
So you just want to jump right into theories?
Let's take a couple. Let's take a short break.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Awesome Sunday Show. Chris Oleski's still beautiful and he's still sitting right next to me. So, but also we just got done talking about it was episode 6, right? Of the Flash. 5. I'm sorry. Just got done talking about episode 5 of the Flash. Now we're actually going to talk about some theories of the future of the show, where it's going to go. I know Pat knows a lot more theories than I do, but there was one main theory that I know that I think is true. So the main theory, or before we get to the main theory, do you know about some like minor theories about the show that you might want to bring up first? Or
Yeah, I briefly touched upon it when I was talking about Cisco's powers, and what I think for him to develop the full extent of his powers is what's going to happen. They have that Earth 2 interdimensional breach somewhere in Star Labs that they built. And what I think is going to happen is, in the comics, the way Cisco got his powers was from a boom tube from Darkseid that basically exploded, and the reaction to it gave him his Vibe powers. So I think instead the breach portal is something's going to happen to it, and it's going to affect him and give him his powers. I think it's the easiest way for them to do it. Quickest way, and it would make sense because that breach they already had, it's not stable.
yeah,
At some point something's going to happen, whether from Zoom or a different metahuman or them messing around with it. It's going to explode, it's going to collapse, whatever. And I think that effect, like Cisco's probably going to be in the room, and I think it will affect him in the way that the boom tube did in the comics and give him his powers, which I would like to see because I want to see him get his powers because he can fuck with speedsters.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, he can really mess around with their molecules and basically not take away their speed, but stop them from using it for a certain period of time, which would be useful later on against Zoom.
That would be very useful.
Yeah, I personally think.
So, like, you're saying, like, with Cisco messing around with the molecules, taking away speed, I think it's going to do more than help them against Dr. Zoom.
It's not Dr. Zoom, it's just Zoom.
Zoom, I mean, sorry. Just, I like using it to stop Zoom. I think it's gonna be opposite effect with Jay Garrick. I think
you mean like
yeah.
give him back his speed. I think that's another thing that would likely happen. I think that's completely possible.
I'm sick and tired of like not seeing
Jay with powers. He has to get him back at a certain point.
Yeah.
And I think that with Cisco's full extent of his powers, that can definitely happen. I agree with you. I think it should happen that way. I originally thought Jay was going to get his powers back in the Sand Demon episode when Barry's throwing the lightning.
Yeah.
I thought it would have he would have gotten struck by it and it would have reinvigorated his powers, but it would be more interesting for when Cisco gets the full extent of his vibe powers.
Yeah.
To redo
which
it.
is going to be probably pretty soon. Probably.
It's got to happen at some point this
yeah.
season. Maybe by the mid-season finale, which is when like massive things start to happen.
Massive,
like massive wieners. But yeah, I think something like that, or in the few episodes after that, probably by episode 15 or 16. I think would be a good time
for Jay to get his powers back.
I mean, I would like it to happen sooner.
I want it a little sooner than that.
I do too, but I think realistically, it'll happen closer to the tail end of the season.
Yeah.
But you never know. It's sooner the better, in my opinion, but we'll see. Because he has to get him back because they're going to need him to have him to take down Zoom.
Yeah. Because even though Barry is faster and like has been more powerful than Jay, I still don't think he's to the level of Dr. Zoom at all. Like I think Zoom. I keep saying Dr. Zoom. Just Zoom. I think
Zoom is more powerful.
I know Zoom is more powerful, but you know how like in episode like Jay and Wells are arguing, saying he is powerful enough. No, he's not powerful enough. I think they're both wrong. I think he's just kind of somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
He has to fight.
He's not yet powerful enough, but something along the way he's going to pick it up. But he's still going to need help.
Yeah.
From Speedster, Firestorm, whoever, but he's got to play a big role.
I'm hoping it's like a huge like superhero brawl, like Killer Frost, Firestorm, Jay Garrick, Barry.
Yeah,
maybe Captain Cold can help out a little bit.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean something's gonna happen. It'll probably take place after Legends of Tomorrow, though, most likely. But yeah, he needs to get his powers back. It's really important, I think.
It's I'm just
going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just honestly just getting kind of tired of waiting. Like I just want to see him like run fast.
Yeah. Go back to being the Crimson Comet.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna happen at some point. Let's see, what's another theory that I had? I know I brought it up before, but that potentially Wells' daughter becomes Jesse Quick. Could go either way, but Jesse Quick's going to appear at some point. May or may not have her powers. Who knows? I know the biggest theory right now is the identity of Zoom.
Yes, that's the one. That's the big one. That's the big one I said before.
It's the biggest theory right now.
Yeah, I didn't say it, but I was just saying this is the one I mentioned before about the identity of Zoom. It's either Henry Allen or Barry Allen. I think it's Barry Allen. You think it's Henry Allen, right?
It's not that I think it's Henry Allen. I would rather it be Henry Allen.
Okay.
And the reason why I think it can be Henry and kind of enhances Zoom's motivation to be the only speedster is on Earth 2, whether from Eobard Thawne or some other speedster, I think that instead of the night of just Barry's mom dying, that Barry himself actually was killed by a speedster. So Henry basically has a vendetta against any speedster, against any Earth or any dimensional or Earth or whatever, and maybe wants to collect that speed because he thinks he can go through time, like back in time, and stop it. Much like Barry tried. Maybe he's not aware that he can do that right now.
Okay.
And saw a couple like comparison pictures. John Wesley's ship has basically the same stature, same eye color, because they showed in behind the scene pictures Zoom without the black eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is obviously done in post production. So I would like for it to be John Wesley's ship, who plays Henry's dad, but I don't know
Barry's dad.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Barry's dad. I don't know how likely it is though. If it's not going to be one of the Allen family members, I would like for it to either be Edward Claris, who is the rival, who is Jay Garrick's Reverse Flash, or Daniel West. But I think it's more unlikely. It's less likely to be Daniel West, who is the current Reverse Flash in the New 52, I believe.
Okay.
And the reason I kind of think it might be him, or the notion that came into my head is like him, because Zoom's suit seems more organic, like more of an organic compound for the most part, like specifically the mask, which is what Daniel West is like, because he doesn't really have a suit in the comics. He basically, his body transformed into the state it's in, which is like kind of demonic looking, like Zoom is a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm probably thinking about it now. That might be it more than anything. I still think it's Barry Allen of the Earth 2, because that's a good theory with Henry Allen. But I think it's just, if Henry Allen saw his son die, why would he kill his son in Earth 1? I think it makes more sense because you see Barry in Earth 1 sometimes is not very level-headed with certain things, whereas like Barry Allen Zoom could look at this Barry and like, oh well, he doesn't matter. He could have killed my father, and freaked out. So I don't know, but maybe it could be Daniel West though.
Yeah,
I think it's probably more than likely him. But I wouldn't mind this change from the comics.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know if it's going to be somebody we already know, whether they're Earth 2 or Earth 1. It could even be a speedster from like Earth 52 or whatever. It doesn't matter. But more likely it's going to be somebody's doppelganger or an Earth 1 counterpart.
Yeah.
And the reason I want it to be Edward Claris is it would make sense in a way that they change his backstory just a little bit, and because it's Jay Garrick's Reverse Flash. Yeah. That's essentially what happens on Earth 2. If Zoom is indeed from Earth 2, because Zoom's trying to capture... Jay mentioned Zoom wants the speedster's powers on any Earth. So he could have come from a different Earth, realistically.
Zoom?
Yeah, but Wells said he created Zoom. Could have just been that Zoom came around at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that could be it. I feel like that would be kind of a weird twist, but I feel like the show could probably do it in a way that would make me believe it.
I mean, it's a comic book show. They could do whatever.
There is some validity to that, actually, because if Zoom wants all the speedsters dead in every realm, like because he's obsessed with speed, he wants to be the only one. Then Jay Garrick could have just gotten Speed Force, and Zoom has just been hunting him down.
Yeah,
from interdimensionally. Yeah,
it's possible. And, his suit, much like the Reverse Flash, is based on, or is like almost exactly like Barry's is. So he had to get that inspiration. If it's a suit and not like an organic body type material. He had to get that sort of inspiration from somewhere because it's clearly not based off Jay Garrick's,
Right.
Which is much, much different. And the way the rival is, he's similar. There are certain characteristics of it that are similar, like the Blue Lightning. They basically put a dark material over their face to like hide their face from it, but who knows? Like, there's like a million theories. The one that's, if you go on like r Flash, the Flash subreddit, it's just ridiculous right now with all the theories on there, and people are actually speculating that it's Patty Spivot
That's
of Earth 2, which
yeah.
I think is a terrible, terrible theory. And there's no validity to it, but like their excuse is, oh well, Patty's dad was killed by a metahuman. Maybe that happened on Earth 2 as well.
No, it's just people looking for some like.
It's just like now people are starting to make fun of it, but like there are people who genuinely believe it.
No,
And
it's just people like wanting to have a voice.
Yeah, I think it's the weakest and just plain stupid.
I wouldn't even call it weak because
Yeah,
weakness has a hint of
True.
validity. It's just not true.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible theory, and it's just ridiculous. But somebody on the Flash subreddit goes, guys, I know what Patty's true identity is, and they posted a video, and it's of Patty and Barry on the date, and she basically goes, you know, and then it breaks into the John Cena meme.
That's awesome.
And they superimpose her face on John Cena's body and show him coming out to his theme song, which I thought was really, really funny. Yeah, and another theory is like people are saying, because Zoom in the comics is Hunter Zolomon, who is the Reverse Flash of Wally West, who we haven't seen yet, but we know he's there. He's coming on. May or may not have his powers when we see him, but I don't think it's Zolomon.
Not this Zoom. I think there's going to be I think there's going to be a later Zoom. There's going to be another
We
Zoom
will-
later version.
yeah, we
later
will-
seasons.
We will indeed meet Zolomon at some point. They could even put him at the back end of the season, prior to the accident, and then to the event that gave him his powers. But I think right now it's really unlikely because, more likely than not, Zoom is from Earth 2. And Zoom taps into the Speed Force because the Hunter Zolomon Zoom powers operate differently. He
Slows down time.
slows down time around him. He basically travels between seconds,
Mm-hmm.
which is what gives him his speed. And for the most part, like with a few exceptions, he doesn't have lightning between him, like behind him. He doesn't have like a lightning trail. And I don't think it would make sense to introduce him right now before they show Wally West coming on.
Yeah.
I think it would be a waste of time.
I don't even think Hunter Zolomon's going to be a season 3 person. I think it's like later. If the show goes on that long, which hopefully it does, it's like season 4.
It could be because, you know, as much as I like seeing Reverse Flashes and evil speedsters or whatever, you know, I hope next season the overarching villain is not a speedster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a season
Yeah.
4 or something like that.
Yeah, like a season 4 they can go to. They can certainly introduce Hunter Zolomon, that they just keep him, you know, prior to his accident as a cop, which is what he was. He was Wally West's partner. So they can introduce, you know, have him transfer to that, to Central City or whatever, and then just like string him along as a cop for now. And then maybe the end of season 3, that accident will happen, which was Gorod attacked him and paralyzed him, and he wanted Wally to go back in time and prevent the accident. Wally didn't. So Zolomon tried using the cosmic treadmill to himself go back in time to fix it. But an explosion happened, and then he got his powers, which is basically time manipulation.
Yeah.
Is exactly what it is, because he doesn't have the Speed Force like most evil speedsters.
It's
literally
different.
just
Yeah.
his powers are different, but the only reason he is so fast because he slows time around him.
Yeah, it makes when you look at it, he appears to be moving very fast.
Yeah, but really everything's just moving slow around him.
Yeah.
And I think Zoom, whether the actual Speed Force or the negative Speed Force, like Eobard Thawne operates in, or its powers come from, some incarnation of the Speed Force. Something like that. I just remembered another theory for Zoom's identity is the Black Flash, which I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Refresh. I know.
He's basically death for speedsters. He's basically like the Grim Reaper.
Oh, I don't think
speedsters.
that's going to be it. I know what you're talking about. He might. I don't think that's
because I don't think it's what it is. It could be some similarities between it because, I mean, not just because Zoom's suit is black, but basically when the Black Flash shows up, speedsters die or lose their powers, and the Black Flash is capable of stealing powers, their speed powers, which is what happened to Jay Garrick.
Yeah, no, yeah. I just feel like it's really soon to introduce something like that.
I mean, if they did it, it's a bold idea, Cotton, and it's a good idea. It'd be interesting, and I mean, it's a little out there right now, but it certainly put on like a more morbid feeling to some of it.
I just feel like I would, for Black Flash to come around, I'd want more speedsters around regularly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because we got to see how Jesse Quick come on, Wally West,
the Sword. Yeah,
whoever else,
maybe Bart Allen. Probably not.
It probably won't happen, but you never know. He could come from the future.
Yeah, there's a lot of time travel.
Yeah, I mean, we've already exhibited time travel. There's no doubt we're going to see more.
Yeah.
Because it happens really often in Flash history. Sorry. That's right now basically all the theories I can think of. I'm sure there's more, but I'd say those are. But the identity of Zoom is the.
This is an ongoing subject, though. I'm sure we'll talk about this more. Like there'll be more theories.
Yeah. Really,
probably better ones that people will think of.
Yeah, and as the season comes along, there's always going to be new ones. But the identity of Zoom clearly is the biggest one.
Yeah. Which I'm so glad like something like that hasn't leaked yet.
Yeah, me too. And I think they're doing a better job at keeping Zoom's identity a secret than they did with the Reverse Flash in season 1.
Well, you kind of know who it was from the first episode.
Yeah, I mean, not that they
comic fans did.
Yeah, not that they handled it poorly or anything. It's just they're really foreshadowing a lot less, and they're focusing less on that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's primarily it. If you guys watch The Flash and have any theories of your own, let us know. Or, if we come up with any more, I'm sure we'll bring them up in later episodes.
Yeah. So I'll probably, if not, have another dedicated episode of theories if there's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But next week's episode 6, Zoom is finally going to come to Earth 1, which I'm really looking forward to, and I think it's going to be intense.
It's going to be dope. It's going to be a nail biter.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't work that day either. I'm pretty pumped, so I can just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, is that it, Pat?
Yeah, that's about all I got.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to know more about Austin Sunday Show, or if you want to just follow us and get some more updates, my Twitter handle is @LessThanConnor, and Pat's
at RickPatMick. You can listen to us on YouTube, Podbean, download it on iTunes.
Yeah, like us, share with your friends, or even if you don't like us, tell us we're good at anyway, and then share with your friends and tell us we're good, and just keep that to yourself.
Exactly. Just make us huge so we can start making money off this.
Yeah,
and quit our jobs.
I know. I would love to do this. And just do more shows and more content, because
exactly.
We've promised more shows, and trust me, there will be more stuff coming. It's just money.
Yeah. We can start our own network of podcasts, like the Nerdist Podcast Network and the Earwolf Podcast Network.
Yeah.
But, we need to make money first, so
yeah,
put us on blast. All right, guys. Sorry this episode's going up late. Right now it's 11 p.m. on Sunday, but
If
some
we get up
shit
before
happened.
12, that means it's still technically Awesome Sunday show.
Yeah, I'm putting it right up. So, well, thanks for listening, guys. Until next week. Pat signing off.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.